Telling the truth.
Okay, I did my project on Every Movements. I think the founder and creator of GoPro. I guess. Next slide. Alright, so we're going to be talking about surfing when he was young. That was a big part of his life when he was young. Yeah, it was $250,000 every day from Japan. He was born in 1975 in Santa Barbara with all the accessories and stuff. And that got him basically. Money was a big problem when he was younger. And then the GoPro itself wasn't really the smartest. Like if you look up GoPro on YouTube, and they don't have videos that are not even English because they sell them. And technology, he wanted to go to college for a contract in global business. And Funbug was on the trip of going to technology college to learn how to never went that high. It was a big success. The GoPro Hero 1 started out as lessons learned. What I learned is that having patience held like a 420. Having that as a skill would be it's pretty identical, and that you'll always have. It wasn't enough, so from that they kept going through it. They had some rough times and success. Funbug, they ended up losing what he learned from it. He learned a lot more than he thought. He said that he lost money. They were in debt a lot. Like at the end, he was doing his dad gave him $250,000. Father and his mom gave us better. His father at the beginning had, and he ended up losing about he had no money that invested in his at least saying good job. And in Australia, after the whole depression thing, losing that fund company, and you are your own person. Big survey said you are your own person. Take a breeze off. If it means when you write something on a piece of paper, he thought about the GoPro, the way you are, and he was surfing with a 50 millimeter had it was a 50 millimeter camera that dad thinks wasn't enough, and he thought that kids were taking that camera. He was always more better with good grades and vision. And he on the beaches he got like $10,000 worth of. So we're excited. Sold in America. Not much, but I got a lot from Australia. So that helped.
Any questions for that about GoPro?
You can get them on Amazon for like on my trip to Lake Roosevelt, the city, I went fishing. Okay, so we talked about his camera, and for his camera, you can get many different accessories more than there's a camera called Origin Pen, and they pretty much use you can use the same mount, same accessories from the GoPro with that, but during this big GoPro they had this rivalry thing. They were at war all the time. Like they're always trying to get the better camera. They're always having conflicts and stuff. And his patience trip, he went around the world with a VW. He lived in that, and he did all these big motivation speeches about having patience. And that was one thing about having his patience. You always have to have patience in everything. There's patience in everything. And he said that having that, I guess, skill can get you anywhere. And the effect on the people was amazing, and people buy his GoPro, buy his accessories all the time now, and telling the truth on for everyone. Next slide. Effects on the world. Next big sell in Japan was $250,000 of GoPros from Japan wanted to buy some big business with all the accessories and stuff, and that got him basically mobile. And then the GoPro itself was used if you look at GoPro on YouTube, you see videos that are not even in English, because they sell them in different countries, not just the United States, and they're and Funbug was on the trip of India, but never went that high. It was a big success. What I learned is that having that you'll always have failing
Let's just see what it looks like.
and success.
You got it slung over your shoulders.
What he learned from it, he learned a lot more than he thought. He said that he thought he was doing it for money, but at the end he was doing it for himself. His father died. His father and brother he had no
Button it all the way up to the top. We have to roll up.
and you are your own person. You are your own person. If it means way to right something, you are just personally. It's he said he had a lot of bad things happening to his younger kids bullying him, because he was always the one not having good grades and the one
Whenever you're ready.
never.
You want to just say something like start up with
It's
this
not
is the story
one-sided.
of Bill Gates.
Not much, but I got a lot from them.
My name is Mark.
Alright, I'm Parker Duncan. This is the story of Bill Gates. Alright, so Bill Gates made everyone's perspective on technology different, and he changed the computer industry and how people look at it. Alright, so Bill Gates was born on October 28, 1955 in Seattle, Washington. He started learning and enjoying programming at the age of 13. And after he started learning more and more of it, he started a new computer called the Altair 8800. So, in the beginning of his career, he started learning more and more, and after he started that computer, he wanted to continue it and continue doing it for the rest of his life, so he started a company, Microsoft. And he learns a programming language called BASIC, which is a language that's used to make different computer programs. And he meets a friend at school, and he starts programming with him because they both enjoy the same exact thing. Alright, and then here's the video.
Every year, Bill and Melinda Gates release a letter talking about their philanthropic efforts. This year, the letter is all about the future specifically how technology will dramatically change the lives of the poor in just the next 15 years. That's exactly the sort of thing we think about at The Verge, so we asked Bill Gates if he would be our guest editor in February, as we explore the 4 areas he thinks will undergo the most change. As you might have guessed, Bill agreed, and I spent the afternoon with him talking about his vision for the next 15 years. He also talked a little smack about Bitcoin.
It's kind of a special year because the foundation is now 15 years old, and also this year we have the UN looking at the Millennium Development Goals, which were the World Powers from 1990 to 2015, and adopting the next 15 years of goals. So what can we get done by 2030? So we pick health, education, farming, and banking, and say, we think something very.
Alright, so important accomplishments. He eventually buys DOS, which is like an operating system that is used for computers back then. And he, at a Microsoft convention in Seattle, he meets Melinda, and he marries her. He eventually leaves school to continue working on programming, so he can continue Microsoft. Alright, impact on the world. So, he and his wife, Melinda, started the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And they do stuff like donate to charities and, like, help people who need, like, help. Bill Gates also changed the computer industry. Like, so, if there wasn't Microsoft, there wouldn't be, like, you know, computers we have today. He also strives to help people like who need help, like who are homeless and all that. So lessons learned / impact. I've learned that you never give up when you want to do something. And Bill Gates is someone that if you're really interested in programming and computers, that you can definitely look up to him. And he also teaches a lot of people to start working as a team and don't just do it by yourself, because you can accomplish a lot more as if you're in team.
So, I'm doing Steve Jobs. So we're going through early life, beginning of career, important accomplishments, impact on the world, and lessons learned. Steve Jobs was born in San Francisco, California on February 28th, 1955. His birth mother was from Syria, and his mother he keeps doing stuff.
How about this, hypothesis, and can we take it from the top?
Yeah, it's
Okay, so it's gonna take one little flick, and my suggestion would be to just set that down, set the iPad down, and then just hold the note card, and then just give a solid flick once, or it might, it gets a little glitchy. Can you go back to your very first slide? And can we take it right from the top, and then just kind of move with purpose? And it's gonna just mess up a bit. You're holding holding the iPad. It has more potential for problem. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, why don't let's take it right from the top.
So I'm doing Steve Jobs. Going to early life, beginning of career, important accomplishments, impact on the world, and lessons learned. Steve Jobs was born in San Francisco, California on February 28, 1955. His birth father was from Syria and his mother was Swedish American. They met while in college at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. However, his birth mother's father did not allow her to marry, so Steve's birth parents decided to give him up for adoption. They wanted to have a closed adoption to college graduates with the promise that he will have college education. Steve Jobs was adopted at birth by Paul Reynolds Jobs and Clara Jobs. Steve knew at a very young age that he was adopted. As he was 5, his family moved to Mountain View, California. Steve's adopted father, Paul, taught him electronics and how to work with his hands. This sparked an interest in technical hobbies. In high school, Jobs met Steve Wozniak through a mutual friend, Bill Fernandez. Wozniak was also very smart and interested in electronics. Wozniak and Fernandez built what they called the cream soda computer, and they called it that because I think it was Bill was always drinking cream soda. They built it. Steve was interested in this computer after graduating high school in 1972. Steve went to a small, expensive school in college. In Oregon. He dropped out after only 6 months. He spent the next year and a half dropping in on different courses and sleeping on friends' floors. He even returned to Coke bottles for food money. In the meantime, Wozniak had began designing boxes for long-distance phone calls, which earned him a lot of money. So Jobs started thinking that electronics could be both fun and profitable. In 1976, Jobs and Wozniak formed a company named Apple Computer Company, which made circuit boards. Steve Jobs was best known as an electronics inventor, but he was previously the CEO of Pixar and the creator of Next Computer. Steve founded Next Incorporated in 1985. Next Computer was being sold at the time was $9,999 US, and it was advanced for the time. And in 1986, Steve bought a graphics group that was later known as Pixar from Lucasfilm's computer graphics team. For the next 15 years, Pixar created countless movies such as Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, and Monsters Incorporated. Later, Steve was also offered $427 million from Apple to buy Next Incorporated. Steve accepted the offer and went back to work at Apple as the CEO and co-founder. Steve Jobs was the CEO and co-founder of Apple. He always saw potential in electronics and marketing. Steve Jobs was one of the lead developers in the famous iPhone. From its introduction in 2007, the iPhone revenue grew from $5 million to $47 billion in 2008. Steve's life changed after this. Steve planned eventually Apple came out with the iPhone 4. Steve sought out world electronics and marketing. These two fields combined perfectly together, resulting in his success.
And an internet communicator, an iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone. Today,
I've actually learned a lot of Steve Jobs, and basically what he did was he took the electronics market and he made lots of money from both of them, basically, and he worked very hard. So. We're excited.
have, questions for Mike, about Steve Jobs.
When did he die?
He died, it was 2011. Because what happened was his cancer came back and he didn't get chemotherapy, but he said took medications.
What type of cancer is it?
Pancreatic, I can't say it. Pancreatic cancer.